What's up, guys? We're gonna mix it up a little bit here today. Normally, I throw the intro out there real fast for who we have in the show, but not doing that right now. This is Car Reptiles. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not Car, but we'll bring out Car. What up, Car?
What's going on?
What's up? So we got Matt Yates in the back. So we're gonna throw out his intro because I'm sure you guys are tired of watching me and Car's intros all the time. So welcome Matt Yates to the show. What's up, Matt? How are you, man?
What's going on? How we doing, fellas?
Not bad, not bad. So, how did you start breeding?
How did I start breeding? Well, I've always been into reptiles in general, and about 07, I got my first pair. It was a lesser pastel and a spider, and that was hot shit at the time. I was shooting for queen bees, and now it's like nothing, no big deal. People have moved way past that, but
right.
Yeah, so that was like my intro into it. I had a buddy that was, he got a couple of het caramels at the time, and I was like, oh, these are kind of cool. And I started looking. I went down the rabbit hole of all of the genetics there were, and just kind of got infatuated by it. And so, from there I moved in, got a pair, and we all know how that story goes, right? Pair, before you know it, you got a trio. Before you know it, you got a rack, et cetera, et cetera. So. Yeah, that's the beginning.
How long have you been breeding for now?
So I think my first clutch was 2010. Just a real basic. I think it was that lesser pastel to like a normal female that I picked up from pet store, and a handful of clutches every year up until this point. I'm at a point right now. This season was a dozen clutches. Next season could be more. I've always kind of intentionally been small and focused on quality. That's my primary focus. It takes the fun out of it when you get too big,
Right.
Yeah.
What kind of genes do you like to work with? I know you like to work with hypo and stuff like that, because you're a big hypo fan as well as I am.
Yeah, I love the hypo game. And we were talking backstage a little bit about that, and hypo's kind of starting to get a little love. There was a period of time where, people were like, oh, hypo this, and, talking down on it. But, as I said, it's one of those things that it's one of the genes that never takes away, in my opinion, from a combo. It always adds to it. So,
right.
Me personally, I like the hypo stuff. Lots of multi-recessive things. Really, where my primary focus has been is hypo DG clowns and various, combos with, whatever genes I'm trying to roll into that project. Doing a little bit of side stuff with like lavender stuff, ultramel stuff. But that's my primary focus in those triples.
Nice, man. Hell yeah. All right, that's Matt Yates, guys. We're out. No, I'm just kidding. Just messing with you. See you. No. Yeah. Actually, we did meet down over at Canova. Actually, that's how I actually met you. So we have actually met. Nice guy, really good guy, Matt. What are your future plans for the future?
Well, I've been kind of thinking about where I'm going to take things, and right now, like I'm not trying to scale too big.
Right.
When I started, for a while, I was working on like hypo DG projects, and I was working on clown hypo projects, and I was working on DG clown projects, right? And there was a particular male that came out. It was a Canova male that was a triple recessive, and I was like, why? I started thinking bigger, right? I was like, well, Why don't I just marry these projects together into one? And so that was the point where I had this this shift in thinking, right? Like, let's go bigger, let's roll it out, and working on the a lot of people don't like to do the pos hets, but that's the grind.
Right.
If you want to get ahead and you don't got the deep pockets, like some people could just buy in and it's all good. Personally, that's not the course of action I've taken. So I held back a lot of stuff when I started producing for that male and working it in. Maybe I create a visual on one end and it's like 50% het on the other. And then I try and get something that complements the other side. That's a double visual with a 50% het, and then prove it all out in one pairing.
Right. You ever had, how more often than not does it not prove out for you?
I mean, it's a gamble. Sometimes one of those toss heads may prove out and the other one does not. You never know what you're going to get, really. But I mean, again, 50-50 shots, that's your odds. So just, hope and pray that you can hit. And then, you really strengthen your odds when you're working on a visual recessive that you're, so worst case scenario, you're hitting 100% head.
Right.
You're just statistically, at least you have a head in that combo when you're making the right pairings.
Correct.
Yeah.
Let's see some of your hypo stuff, man. I want to see some snakes real quick.
You want to show some stuff off? Okay.
Snakes. I know you got that black pastel leopard hypo DG boy?
Yellow belly, hypo DG. Yeah. That's probably one of my favorites for the year.
That thing is nice.
I took him to the Super Show in Vegas and showed him off, and some people were like, "All right, come on, what do you want for this one?" And I'm like, he's not for sale, and I kind of stuck to that. But he's grown great. I'll show him off in a little bit. Let me see what I can pull.
All right, that's cool. Let's see what you got here.
So did you produce that one?
I did, yeah.
Oh, you did? Awesome. Oh, so you did produce that, huh?
Yeah, that's something I produced. That was a couple years ago. I had a pastel yellow belly double het that I produced and raised her up, and then I did purchase the sire to that clutch from Justin. It's a black pastel yellow belly leopard double het, possible het clown. Haven't proved that out yet, but so that was the pairing, and I hit that was just the best case scenario. I had that girl and one of her sisters, so we had two of them to pair up and hit the odds on that one. I got another one with pastel in it that is just not quite as impressive. Takes away from it the contrast and everything a little bit. But this is one. It's starting to lose a little bit of the orange coloring, but I was really happy with. This is actually a spark combo. So we got a pastel inchy, what is it? Spot nose, spark, hypo, and there's some possible clown and DG stuff in there. But when this snake hatched out, the flames on the side were just the craziest of oranges. It's sort of fading out a little bit.
Yeah.
But when it hatched out, it was pretty wild. And I have a couple clutch mates too. Let me see. I don't know. This one looks like it's kind of in shed. Yeah, it's definitely in shed, but you get the idea. I mean, kept a couple of girls back from this one. That first one I showed you was a male. And again, these are, possible long shot odds on the clown and the DG stuff, but their lineage has that. So this one's got some pretty cool. This is non-hypo version, but that spark, people kind of sleeping on it right now. It got passed over. All the highway stuff, people are into the gravels, and spark was real hot for a minute, and then it dropped off for other yellow belly complex things. So
is that the one that makes pumas and stuff?
That's the puma one. Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. Okay.
So I got another kind of interesting one. This is not a production of mine, but he is up to breeding size now, and this is a hypo blackhead 100% het clown. Oh, that's so you can barely tell that it's hypo. I mean, the blackhead is so dark,
right?
And there's so much contrast. He is a hypo. He is a visual.
I can tell because of the head and stuff like that.
Yeah,
a lot of hypo and stuff. And you get that head. You can tell by a lot. The head stems are more like a golden, color type thing. But
yeah. So he's real nice. I'm excited to get him working. He's 700 grams maybe or something along those lines. So he's getting there.
That's nice. I love the hypo. I got a blackhead HRA hypo that I got from Antoine.
Blackhead just reacts real well with certain things too. I like blackhead inchies. I think that's a real cool one. And then it adds the contrast. A lot of what I've been trying to work on lately is, we do all this lightning stuff, and I've really gotten into the dark morphs to add contrast. So when I got that male we were talking about, the black pastel one, it darkens it up while the hypo still has that ghosty look, and then on top of the brightness of the DG, it's just it's a nice combination.
So do you have
Go ahead.
orange? Do you have Orange Ghost?
You know what? That's a funny thing with they used to talk about like non-compatible hypo lines. In my experience, everything that I'm working with is compatible.
Right.
So I think it's all OG. We used to call everything Orange Ghost, and anymore I've just transitioned to hypo. It's shorter, quicker, and easier to say. So I don't really differentiate between hypo lines, but there is like an older line that's non-compatible, but I've not experienced that personally. So
that is the Green Ghost, I do believe.
I've heard that. Yes,
that is the Green Ghost. That's non-compatible with the hypos and stuff like that. Like the Orange Ghost is compatible. Obviously, all the hypo. I think the only thing that's not compatible with hypo is the Green Ghost.
Okay, I gotcha. So let me see what else I got for hypo stuff I can show you real quick. So I'll show you a couple clutch mates to the big boy that I'm very excited about, and it's very interesting. Again, when you get the pastel in, it's kind of hard to tell. Like here's one right here. I'm fairly certain on the DG on this one. I took a little time to look at it, and if you look at the side,
that's one you hashed out, ain't it?
Yeah, this is another one of those.
I posted a picture of that a while ago. It's been some time.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, I don't know if it's DG or not. I remember you posting that snake actually.
Yeah, but I think I've landed on DG, but then I just had a clear shed too. So I'm like, wow, could I have actually hit both? You know, sometimes when you get the pastel into the hypo DG stuff, it really muddies the waters a little bit. It's hard to tell 100% what you have. And then here's another clutch mate in there, and this one's pretty wild. I don't know if this is actually a super yellow belly. Got some pretty crazy patterning.
You mean super pastel?
Well, it could be super pastel too, but it did have yellow belly on both ends of it. So
did it?
Yeah. It's way different. It's way different than everything else. So it's hard to say, really.
Looks super pastel.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and there's definitely the option. It could be super pastel as well.
Because your super yellow belly is going to make it ivory.
Right. Yeah, so let's see. Another ode. You know what? Here, let's just show you the bad boy that, everybody loves this guy. Let's just get this one out of the way. It's pretty hard to top, though. So
it is pretty hard to top. That thing is amazing.
Yeah, that's silly.
That's silly.
I mean, you throw that black pastel in there, and then again, I got my yellow belly. You see the flames, the blush, and all the contrast that's created. I mean, this snake, probably on camera doesn't show, but it is it's like purple. It's like purple and orange. It's really nice.
That's badass.
Nah,
so yeah, that's probably
the ones you have. Like when you posted that thing, I was like, man, I'm super jealous of that.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean,
heat right there.
When you stay vigilant and you work on these things, you produce some of these animals, and it's tempting to sell something like this, but
I think sell something like that.
The return on breeding this guy down the line, I'm going to get tenfold what I would sell him for. So it just makes sense to keep him. But yeah, he's awesome. I thought it was a female at first, but it turned out to be a male, which honestly I would have been happy either way. But yeah, this guy, he's a beauty.
That's a really good line of leopard too. Like you really get that leopard pattern in them too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it all shows through.
Yes, it does.
So yeah, very happy with this boy. I don't know what to do for hypo after that. I mean, all right, show's over. Let's wrap it,
It's a wrap.
I got
you want to show, don't you?
Huh? Oh yeah.
Let's see your snake.
All right, let's check out the stuff.
Oh man, this is some heat right here.
All right, man. Got some bangers. Show.
First, why don't you show the one that you took from Matt?
Huh? Oh, you guys want to see this one?
Show that one that you stole from Matt that he won.
All right. Everybody likes seeing this dude.
You haven't seen this dude in a while.
He's kind of an a-hole, to be honest with you.
Those are the best ones. They eat well.
Bam.
Chocolate, right?
Chocolate, Wookie, 100% het clown.
Hell yeah. That's a good one. It's a real good one.
Got this guy off Justin.
Okay. I got you. Yeah, Wookiee's that's a hot one lately. It's really picking up some steam. I snagged a breeder Wookiee DG recently. Very excited to have that. Yeah.
Oh,
I can show that one off in a minute here.
Wookiee's where it's at, man. I
Ryan
like
from 3-1 South.
In it.
Yeah, it's a breeder male too. He's ready to go. So, but
no, heck yeah.
Yeah.
And what's the other one you have, Carl, that you want to show off?
Yeah, I got some baggers over here. Let me get this guy back in his tote.
Oh, disaster right now.
Huh?
You're a disaster right now. I told you.
I'm always a disaster.
Always.
Never ready, never prepared. Check out this banger right here. This boy right here, pastel, 100% het hypo.
Oh.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Does he pass that for anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Well, still.
We got bring it to.
I think I'm gonna take it to my normal, prove it out.
Solid. I can't even right now.
I can't. I'm just kidding. That's like one of my first things there, Bob.
What do you got there, Matt?
So, just, very classic. I got into double het Mojave GHI, just a male that I bought from Bob at 818, and proved that out this last year. I didn't have any GHI stuff before, but Justin was producing some real cool stuff that caught my eye. So I thought, hey, let's start rolling that into some of my projects. And this is just a male that I have available, but he's real clean. I had a female I sold.
That thing's beautiful.
That is nice.
I mean, it's just one of those, I don't know, classics. They're just such pretty snakes. It's such a weird reaction you get, and you stack that hypo on top, and they're just so clean. I love them.
So that's a GHI Mojave hypo then?
Correct. 50% het clown too.
50% het. Okay.
Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah.
He said that one's available.
Yeah, he's on my morph market right now.
Guys, he's on the morph market. See if I can get
there you go.
Hit up his morph market. He'll be more happy to take payment plans since he can't ship right now. You already know.
Yeah. I got another one. These are not actually hypos, but they are 50% het hypo. This is kind of a cool pairing I did, where I took long shot odds, basically. I'll show you two of the clutch mates I have that are really getting some size. One of them looks to be in shed. So I paired, you can see these two. This one's the one that's in shed. And this was a Firefly yellow belly, red stripe, 100% het hypo. Damn. That I paired to a spot nose OD clown. So
wow.
All of these are going to be, but check this one out. Like, look at this pattern. It's so wacky. It's kind of hard to get this on the screen. But they all came out real funky, really hard to ID, to be honest with you. You have a lot of very subtle genes at play between the OD, the YB, the fire, even red stripe. But I held back a handful. But anyways, they're 50% het hypo. I was waiting on the genetic testing for the hypo and DG stuff, but they're having some hard times with it. So
are they? See, I was hearing too with the genetic testing that it wasn't 100% accurate as well.
Oh, interesting.
There was people sending in sheds and whatnot that already proved to be what they were testing for.
Just testing it out.
But they actually came back negative, or not for that POS gene or whatever. It came back that it wasn't going to prove out when it already did.
Wow.
Just the turnaround time's terrible right now, I guess, with it.
Yeah. So that's why I heard and stuff too. We were talking about that. I think last podcast, I think it was, or something.
Yeah.
So you got another
snake
you want to show off, Car? What you got?
All right, I'll show off. This is one of my newer ones. Wookiee Black Pastel Clown female.
Oh yeah.
She will sit still. Wookiee's where it's at, man. I love Wookiee.
You do.
I do. You just get that like dark kind of tones down the back.
Gorgeous. Doesn't do it.
Yeah.
Either.
Huh?
does it no justice. Like,
Nah, she's definitely one of those better in person type snakes.
You got another one you want to show off? That's a banger.
A banger?
Yeah, you got another banger.
Another banger.
So while we're on the Wookiee train, I guess I just had a shed. I've had a little bit of trouble with sheds lately, so you have to forgive the bad shed on this boy. But this is the Wookiee. In Arizona, it's a little more arid. I've been having trouble on sheds lately. I'm going to go back to cocoa blocks, but this is now Wookiee. Whenever I switch over to paper, which I like because it's very clean, I have trouble with my big girls shedding.
Oh, is that what you? I was going to ask you what you've been using.
Well, I like both. I think there's a place in all collections for both. It's like nice, quick, easy swap. You know, you pull the liner, you spray it out, you wipe it down, back in the game. You know, right. It doesn't hold the moisture. It gets too wet when you do the paper if you try and moisten it down. So that cocoa is real nice for that. And I had pulled all of my cocoa, you know, just cleaned it all up and went with liners. And now I'm like, damn, I got to get back to the cocoa. So,
what you got there? Oh, what is that again?
That's the Wookiee DG.
Oh, that's the Wookiee DG. Oh, okay.
Wookiee DG.
Oh. Yeah. And it's hard to really show. She's, you know, he's, you know, good size, and it's hard to get it on this camera in this little area. But yeah, he's breeding for me already. He's doing great. So hopefully I'll have some really cool things coming up this season with him. Had a handful of locks. Let's see, what did I pair it to? I paired to a scaleless head clown. Scaleless head I know is kind of a dead project, but I got the scaleless head clown girl I was using. Let me see, what else did I pair it to?
Where are you going?
I'm stuck over here.
He's doing that real quick. What you got there, Car?
Got this banger right here.
Oh yeah, what is it?
Bam. Pastel.
Oh, pastel.
Pastel.
Damn. Is it pastel head for anything?
Nope. Just pastel.
Just pastel. What you got breed it to?
I think another pastel.
Oh, are you?
Oh yeah, supers all day.
Not gonna make this. Yeah, I thought you were for sure you're gonna breed it to normal.
I thought about it. I might. I just might.
Nice. All right,
yeah.
Matt Yates.
I had a super pastel leopard clown. I bred it too as well. There's something else. It's escaping me right now, but I know that there's going to be some interesting combos coming out of that.
That sounds like it. Yeah. Do you have any HRA?
I do not.
You don't?
No.
Wow.
You telling me to sleep? Yeah, am I sleeping on it? That's one of those that. Yeah, that's like an old one. That was a. I don't dislike it. I've just never actively pursued it.
Here you go. I got you. Hang on.
You got something cool, HRA, you want to show off?
I'll show you. I was talking to you about that blackhead HRA boy I got.
Okay.
And you can see, and he's a hypo too. And you can see here. Getting old. Uh-oh.
Can't see it.
I know.
There we go.
There you go.
Oh, okay. All right.
So yeah, obviously it lightens it up. You get the the white around the alien heads.
Yeah.
Flaming. Yeah, you get the flaming and the whites around here and stuff. It actually works really well.
I've seen some combos I really like with it.
So there you go.
Yeah. HRA.
I also have a super pastel red Exantic, which is the super version of obviously the HRA.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I remember they got some love back in the day. I mean, that was, I don't know, over 10 years ago when there was some buzz around the HRA. But you know how it is; these things are cyclical. I mean, all it takes is Justin to drop a video with some crazy new combo with some old gene, or it, goes through the roof. Yeah, exactly. I've seen it happen before. I want him to let me know before he's dropping that kind of stuff, so I can work on those kind of projects.
Well, did you see that? Did you see that? What was it? Hypo Orange Dream Mandarin he got?
Orange Dream what? What was the last?
OD Mandarin Hypo.
Oh, Mandarin. Yeah. So
that thing is sick.
Mandarin has been kind of, picking up some steam a little bit too. I've had some conversation lately. I wasn't really sold on it for the longest time, but I guess the super's where it's at.
The supers are nice.
Right. The quality plays into it too. But you start stacking that with, some of these like orange enhancing, whether it's, Inchy or OD, pied projects, any of that kind of stuff. I mean, there's probably a lot of potential moving forward with the mandarin gene. So,
oh yeah, they had, what was that one on Morph Market that we saw? It was a super mandarin banana or something. Is that what it was?
Oh,
yeah,
sure.
something like that. That
That
was
thing is solid.
wild.
That thing is
Really
solid.
bright.
And
Yeah, I can believe it.
It works really good in pied too. Like your super mandarin pies, like, oh wow, like I think it's almost better than the super OD pies.
Well, some of those combos that like Ozzy was cranking out had just this like this orange you've never really seen in ball pythons. You start stacking mandarin into some of those combos. I mean, next level stuff for sure. So,
oh yeah, it's gonna blow up here soon with the mandarin and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. It's gonna be interesting. That's the same thing with the redhead and stuff too. Like the redhead's really picking up steam and clown and stuff.
Yeah, redhead's
and
getting pretty popular.
Redhead's expensive, man.
Super expensive. I've passed over it a little bit because of that, but there's probably the real good return. Anytime you get into a market before something blows up and you're able to capitalize and start producing, especially as there's that demand hitting the market, that's one of those that I remember Justin even saying, hey, this thing's going to blow up in like one of his blog videos from a couple of years ago. And we're starting to see the results of that now.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I still believe. I know it's expensive right now, but I'm telling you, Zebra's going to blow it's going to blow up.
I don't disagree. Yeah, they're clean. They're nice. And another interesting one is that Mario. I'm kind of liking those Mario.
Oh yeah,
that's what I was just saying. Yeah, I like the Mario.
Yeah, the DG Mario is pretty badass too.
Yeah, especially the Super Marios. Yeah, then you get into the supers and stuff.
I can get into that for sure.
Like when we were down in Canova and stuff too, like you've seen how much lace is blowing up since then.
Big time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
I mean, like when we were down there, like you saw that white lace clown, and that white lace clown looked almost better than the DG clown.
It looks wildly different. I think I saw this like before and after photo of this thing, and you almost cannot believe it's the same animal. I mean, it just develops that much. I bought a 66% triple het white lace male from Justin. So, I got to prove out those recessives. Hopefully I hit on one or two of them, or all three would be fantastic. But he's been kind of one of those piggy eaters lately. He was doing really well and kind of slowed down, hit the wall or whatever you want to call it. And so I was hoping I'd be getting him in rotation this year, but it may be, maybe the tail end of the year or something like that. We'll see.
What about, are you into puzzle by any chance?
No puzzle stuff in my collection. Not that I'm against it. I just, I haven't invested in it. There's a guy locally here that's doing some puzzle stuff. I may try and work something out with him in the near future as he, produces some more things.
Gotcha. All right, I was just wondering because I know puzzle's blowing up right now too. Car's not a fan of it, but
oh yeah. I don't hate it. I really don't, but I'm not like infatuated with it. To me, puzzle sort of like a clown, but with just a little wackier pattern.
Right.
I'm a clown fanboy. I mean, I love clown. That's like always probably been my number one recessive that I've liked. That I think many years ago, Brock Wagner produced like a. Like a lesser clown, and I was like, holy crap, I didn't realize how cool clowns were until that point where I got that certain color palette in it, and then it kind of just skewed my whole perspective on clowns.
Clowns are awesome.
Those hypo sunsets he's making too are insane.
Those are silly.
Yeah.
Those are
very
silly.
Cool. I saw him, he produced one, and I actually, was talking to him about it and pricing and everything, and I didn't really pull the trigger on it. I kind of regret it a little bit. I think that the Sunset project, you're talking about mandarins too, and the oranges, like Sunset, you roll that in with some mandarin things. I mean, anytime you've got an untapped project like that, you've got a lot of potential for the future. And I think Sunset's there. Like some people, like they complain, they're like, oh, they brown out or whatever. Well, we've barely cross this into like, how many projects, I've not seen that many combos, let alone like double recessive combos. Right. So we get that rolled into the right projects. And I think there's a lot of potential in Sunset.
Oh, yeah. You see that acid clown I picked up too?
I don't know if I saw the acid clown. No.
Well, I got acid clown.
Nice. Yeah. Check it out.
Oh.
You do that.
What do you got there?
I got her over at Tinley.
Okay. How was that? Was that your first Tinley?
No, that was my second one.
I gotta make it to Tinley this year.
Yeah, it was fun.
Car, where are you at?
Spokane, Washington State.
Okay. Gotcha.
I'm right on the Washington, Idaho border.
Here's your acid clown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it does some interesting stuff with the pattern. That acid creates like that granite-like look on the sides, and kind of darkens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get like blacker blacks in it.
It's a really cool headstand, but she ain't cooperating with me right now.
Yeah, I get it.
But they get like the belly.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, they get some checkering too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a great pickup. That's awesome.
Cool.
Female.
Yep.
Yeah. Hopefully she eats well for you. Get some size on her.
She's a slammer, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Now she wants to escape.
Of course.
She's like, oh, I got out my tub. Like no, get back in.
I'm free.
And then I also have I don't know if you've seen her or not, Matt. You got the DG.
Oh, there you go.
Got the DG Hypo NG chocolate.
That's beautiful. That's right up my alley. I love that.
Yeah, I figured you'd like it.
Yeah. How's that? I can't remember if it was a male or female you had that was like a Hypo DG Leopard. I know you had just picked it up. Male. Gotcha. Yeah. How's that treating you? You get him breeding?
He's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty. I don't think he's not breeding for me yet. He doesn't want to lock up. Or no, he did lock up. He did lock up to the Super GHI girl.
Okay, that's a good one. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's funny, the Hypo DG stuff is really gaining some traction too. People are warming up to that.
Yeah, especially if you throw like a dark gene into it. It seems like it just makes it better. You got the leopard in there.
Yeah,
you get just complements it good.
You get that black pastel in there, like you got like shit.
Black pastel and leopard and yellow belly, all of those can darken. Yellow belly is weird. It can like lighten in some ways, but then it darkens and creates contrast in other ways. So
that's true. Then you got the chocolate. Yeah, chocolate goes good with it for sure.
Oh yeah.
That's definitely badass.
Sure. Speaking of chocolates and Hypo, hold on.
Yeah, do you have any chocolates?
Yeah.
Car, you have another snake you want to show?
Yeah, check this out. You can't even see this thing. I don't even know why I'm going to show it. You can't even see it. You ain't going to see it.
Washed out.
You can't even see it.
It's ivory almost.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Does it?
Like some pattern on it.
Yeah, not even close. It's a blackhead, yellow belly, lavender.
Oh.
Leopard, het pied.
That's a great snake. Yeah. Female?
Yep.
Yeah.
Female.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Finally solid purple now.
The black, or anytime you get the blackhead, the black pastel, any of those in the leopards, I love it. It just, you talk about contrast, that like really enhances the purples, like the deep purples that come in the lavender stuff.
Oh, she's solid purple. There's like very minimal yellow on her.
Yeah, sometimes the cameras just can't pick it up, So I got this one for you here. This is nice. So this is a OD chocolate desert ghost het hypo.
Oh, that's nice.
And maybe it's 50% het hypo, 100% het pied. This is another one of my pickups from Ryan over at 31 South. He's got some really great stuff.
The OD really helps clean that up too.
Yeah, it's super clean. This is
super clean. That's nice.
I only have a little bit of chocolate. Oh, hold on. I got another chocolate I picked up too. This is a good one.
Yeah, I think it's dope.
Yeah, if you guys are into those kind of projects, check that guy out. Ryan's got some great stuff.
Does he?
Kind of flies under the radar a little bit, but like I chat with him every once in a while. He really has an awesome collection. So I just got this week. It's young hatchling from AEP, but this one is a chocolate GHI hypo, 100% het clown, 50% het DG. Oh, and it's got vanilla in it too.
Oh wow! What power!
Yeah, I was like, all right, I'm done buying snakes for the year. I'm not doing it anymore. And then this came up, and I was like, oh, God, he works so well with my projects. Like, I'd be a fool not to. So
you're right.
I just went ahead but sometimes you got to be willing to just, put your money where your mouth is and, splurge a little bit. So, yeah, but anyways, that one, I'm going to feed him this weekend, see how it goes, and hopefully I get some size on him and get him going quick, but definitely a cool one.
I just got I got a nice winter pickup. I got a nice secret winner pickup I'm paying on right now. So I feel you where you say you put your money where your mouth is. It was one of them like where it's like, I can't really afford it, but we'll find a way.
Well, there's a will, there's a way, brother. You know, like that's the thing. You just gotta
I'll find a way.
When it fits your plans so well, you know, when it complements what you're doing, you got to get that snake. There's been times before where I've seen the snake. I'm like, I really like that. I don't want to spend the money. And the next day I follow up on it. I'm like, I'm going to get it. And it's gone, you know? So you see it, you got to get it. You got to jump on it quick. I'm still kicking myself. When we went to Canova, there was a, what was it? It was a Hurricane Vanilla double het DG Clown. And it was on Justin's Morph Market account. I was like, you know what? I'll just talk to Justin when we get down there. You know, I'll ask him about it. I'll we'll work out a deal and I'll buy it from him then. And we get down there. I asked him about it. He's like, oh yeah, I sold that this week. So, you know, you gotta get after it, man.
Yes, you do. All right, Carr, you're now the host. You got any questions for Matt? I'm no longer the host. You are.
No longer the host. So if you could work with anything other than hypo and DG, what do you think would be your favorite gene to work with?
Think if I was going to probably just pick up a random recessive and start running with it, I'd probably jump into the sunset stuff. That's where I see sort of untapped potential. But realistically, everything is moving into the double and triple, even quad space. Okay. So, you know, you can't, like, I don't really do anything that is not some level of a recessive project. And any of my, I have like a couple, like I've got a girl that's like a, super vanilla, super inchy pastel yellow belly. Okay. Like she's just a super. So I have her still. I've kept her. I've not weaned her out of the collection because I can roll a couple, you know, like that's automatically a double co-dom plus whatever kind of recessive I roll into it. And I've got another girl that's like a high intensity OD, super inchy. And that's just because I want to get some high intensity in. I didn't want to pony up too much cash. I found a deal from a local guy that was working with that. So,
okay.
But like everything else on some level is a recessive or visual, if not multi-recessive or multi-possible, recessive, just depending on, you know, what I'm working on.
Got the heads attached to it.
You got to have the heads. You have to do it. You know, I mean, that's moving forward. That's the future. I guarantee it. And everybody's doing it. And if you don't do it, you're going to get left behind.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at with that. You know, to answer your question, though, sunsets, I think, are where it's at. I'm not personally working on it. So, again, it's an example of put your money where your mouth is. Right. I need to probably splurge and get into it. I am seeing a lot more of them around. You know, it's just an interesting time right now. I think everybody knows, like, things have slowed down. We're potentially entering a recession. You know, and there's two schools of thought, like, hey, man, keep a little dry powder, be ready. Or, you know, pedal to the metal, keep going. And, you know, like just so right now where I'm at, I'm like I'm not pairing, you know, anything that makes sense to me. I'm still doing my pairings. I'm still working through it. Again, I've always kind of intentionally been small. But when you get all these multi-recessive projects, you got to hold a lot of stuff back. It's just an odds game, and you're going to win the odds game when you hang on to some stuff and take some shots on those pass heads.
Right. How many snakes do you
have? Give or take 100. I mean, you know, I've got a couple ARS racks over here. Like what's that, 40 and 20, that's 60. And I've got kind of a mishmash of, you know, how it is, the old PVC ones and stuff. I need to kind of upgrade some of my like hatchling and young snake racks. Maybe this coming year, we'll see. I was kind of talking to a buddy that has a CNC machine. We may even try and produce some racks ourselves and even market them if it makes sense. So yeah.
Heck yeah.
Carr, you're the host. Ask him another question.
Oh, I don't have any more questions.
I gave you the host, the stuff. Come on.
Yeah. All right. So, what's the favorite thing you produced this year?
What is the thing I produced that I like the most this year? Probably that male I showed you guys, that black pastel yellow belly. He is.
That thing's silly.
He's a stunner. I'm trying to think of what else I produced that's real. Most of the stuff I got is. Let me think. Actually, here's something pretty cool. I'll show you guys a cool clown project I did. I'll start with a. This is not a visual clown, but check this guy out. He is really amazing.
I think it's bright.
That is bright.
And so I've held on to him. It's a male. Look at his head stamp. Of course, he's not going to cooperate, but
I did see it real quickly. He's got a cool
That's dope.
This is
Wow.
he's got the mustache. I did a little thing on Instagram.
Oh, he
with the
does.
yeah,
Oh,
he's got
yeah.
the handlebar mustache.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
cool.
It needs a monocle.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
I lost his monocle, but anyway, so this is a pastel inchy yellow belly OD 100% het clown, and then there's some possible hets attached to that as well. Firefly. Now I'm forgetting the pairing, but here, let me show you the visual siblings I have that I hit on. I think one of these it's plus and minus OD basically, and of course one of them looks like it's in shed, the other one looks like it's just about in shed, but so
Dang.
Yeah, one. Yeah.
So, I mean, we're talking a powerhouse, like if you just like the amount of codoms packed in, Firefly, Inchy, Spot Nose, Yellow Belly, lots at play here. And I think,
Right.
like I said, one of these does not have the OD, is what I determined after I was looking through it. And again, they're in shed, and there's some pastel in there, so they are browning just slightly, but a lot of potential. I'm definitely gonna keep the female. I think I have the male on my morph market right now. So
Stan wants to know, how many pairings are you doing right now?
Well, I'm at a point where I actually just had a buddy loan me an ultrasound. I'm old school. I've always just kind of done it by, feel. And when I went and did the super show, I was talking to Mike with Insane Clown Pythons, and he was like, you're not doing yourself a service by not. He's like, you can track what's happening,
Right.
And kind of, determine the follicle size. And it kind of hit home. It made sense. I was like, maybe I should invest and get on board with this ultrasound thing. So a little bit of trial and error. I got this machine out just last week and was playing with it and kind of figured out how to scan them. I'm sure this is the type of thing that with just some repetition and kind of getting those reps in, you figure it out a little bit better. But I did figure out how to identify them. I think the key is lots of gel, and then just how to freeze it, and then how to determine the size.
Yep.
So I basically can navigate through it. I went through and did like a handful of my girls, but I'm going to start implementing that and figuring out where the girls are instead of just pairing to pair. I mean, I've got enough males. I've learned from my mistakes in the past of not having enough males and overbreeding one male and everything. So, but to answer the question, I've got maybe about 40 girls I could potentially pair this year. Will I pair all of them? Probably not. I am kind of feeling it out. If there's a girl that maybe she's a little bit young, but it's a project I'm super excited about and want to move forward on, I'm throwing it in. I'm chucking a male in and seeing what happens. And worst case scenario, maybe it stimulates them to eat a little bit better. So that's the direction I'm going in. I'm not necessarily pairing just to pair. Because like I said, economic downturn, you just don't know. I don't want to just crank out snakes to crank out snakes, but I do want to produce snakes that are quality, that are going to move my projects forward. And if I can, sell some and produce a little bit of income out of it, then that's the move I'm going to take.
Gotcha. Paul just came in. Paul, I'm going to give you a top secret project I'm going to do. It's my biggest pickup. You ready for this, Paul? I know you're ready for this. So I picked up. Oh, wait, he said, what's up, Matt? What's up? He said hi to everybody. Hi, Paul.
What's going on?
All right, Paul, my biggest pickup for my winner is
this guy.
Well, I hope you like that pairing, Paul. I just told you it. So
how do you know Paul's not a lip reader?
Sounds like a banger, man.
Sounds like a banger.
Yeah.
He's like, you mother. Always trying to get me to do it.
That's funny.
Oh, it's great. I like messing with Paul. Paul's a good guy. It's so funny. But all right, Paul. I will tell you though. I'm gonna pair. It is a girl, and I'm gonna pair her. So yeah, it should be a really banging pairing, Paul. I can't wait for you to see that.
Man, I can't wait to see that. Whoa.
So this is a snake I produced last year and had it up on Morph Market. I actually had somebody put a deposit down.
Is that spot nose DG clown?
No, it's a DG hypo.
Oh, it's a hypo. That's right.
Inchy spot nose DG hypo. I can't remember if I don't think it has pastel. It's the card. All I got right now is Hypo DG Spot Clown. But, I mean, it's a beautiful snake. She kind of just went on a little bit of a sabbatical from food, though, unfortunately. Right as I was like, hey, she's getting there. I can breed her. I'm going to do it. She decided to take a break. So not the end of the world. She'll pick back up, but she's so clean. I don't know what I was thinking even posting her, to be honest. And
right.
even more so.
With spot nose in it, like.
Well, the funny thing is, I had somebody
lost that backed out of that shit.
I had somebody put a deposit down, and I tell everyone, I'm like, hey, non-refundable deposit. Like, I'm a reasonable guy, if I'm gonna take your money, and if you want to apply it to a purchase later or something like that, I'll work with you. But like, they just were like, yeah, sorry, man, I had something happen, I couldn't, I can't afford it, it's not the direction I want to go in right now, whatever. Everybody's got excuses. So I was like, I guess it's fate, really. So yeah, I'm very happy to keep this in the collection and move forward, and probably produce some really cool combos.
Have you seen a profit yet?
What's that?
Yeah.
He says, "What's that?"
Well,
it's gonna be at least 10 years for you.
So I always seem to reinvest my money, right? And I probably need to do better bookkeeping, to be honest. I probably have, to be honest, but I'm always trying to like upgrade my racks, get that new breeder male, work on, like we're talking about the ultrasound, the equipment. There's always something that comes up. Lately, it's been shows. So I've never really been a show warrior, but I'm trying to put it in and at least, get my name out there a little bit more. I've treated that, I've done this for years, but it's always been more of a hobby mentality, right? And over the course of like the last, I don't know, 3 years, 4 years or whatever, I've like refocused my attention and treated it more in a business manner. And anytime you're trying to grow a business and expand on it, you want to reinvest. And so that's kind of been where I've at, like I'm just constantly like trying to upgrade the collection, that Aussie mentality, the upgrade idea, so yeah, I'm always just like, okay, can I, get rid of this female and fill that spot with something that's more valuable? And that's the course of action I've taken. And it seems to be working real well. I say this every year, but I'm very excited for next year. And I'm looking forward to seeing, what I can produce and, how far I can advance my collection and what kind of projects I can get into. And, maybe if I get a little capital at the end, I'm not mad at that either. So,
well, let's put it this way. Is your snake business, or like when you sell your clutches, is that funding your next big buy? Let's put it that way. You're not using your money no more, correct?
Oh yeah. I think at this point I'm self-sufficient for sure. I've one thing that I've gotten into is like business bank account, business lines of credit, moving it out of my personal stuff. Like at the start, that's what I did. And, as I've sort of like informed myself on some of these things and educated myself, then that's the direction I moved in. So I'm trying to keep it all sufficient. I think, probably moving into 2023, I won't put any of my own money into anything moving forward.
Right. I got you.
Yeah.
Real quick, 500 subscriber giveaway. Don't forget, once it hits, we are giving out a pair of het pies. Car is free shipping. Right, Car?
Yep.
If we ever hit it. We're at 339. We're getting there.
At this rate, maybe next year.
It's a grind.
I've never done YouTube, but just all of it, it's a grind. Consistency is the key, right? As long as you're consistent, try and put out good content, you'll get people. You'll get there, no problem.
That's fine.
The giveaway is a big way to do it too. I've thought about doing that myself. I'm just not sure the logistics of how you like take all the people and spin the wheel or do whatever to make that happen. But
we're gonna do
that's what we were thinking.
We're gonna do it live on that podcast. We hit it, and then we're gonna spin the wheel. You got to comment to enter it. You have to subscribe, obviously.
Yeah.
Whoever it lands on or whatever, it's gonna be free shipping and everything. And then second place, we're gonna give out. I got a couple other breeders that are in on it. I'm gonna give out a free shirt.
Right.
Worry about credit and whatnot, so it'll be fun.
You can have a snake that wants to bite you.
I'm telling you, the feisty ones are the best ones.
I just touched his back when I pulled him out of the cage, and he just like struck at me. He was like, "Oh yeah."
Stick your hand in front of him.
Damn.
Yeah, it will bite you. You're so dumb.
I know. So now you don't want to. This is the boy to it.
I've been doing
the male
for, I don't know, freaking 2 years now. I mean, 339 is pretty solid considering I'm not, I just had my first clutch and stuff like that. But like I said, I got that heat coming, so I'm pretty.
Yeah, man. It's all about, it's a snowball effect, right? You start building that momentum, it picks up, things get bigger. And before you know it, it's out of control, rolling down a hill. I mean, that's the way you do it. So, you make the right purchases, you stay consistent, content, you got other people, there's all kinds of people, but the nice thing about like YouTube, that's a different avenue, right? Like there's so many people on Instagram, everybody's on Instagram. There's, every time, it's funny, I'll scroll through my reels or whatever on Instagram. I'm like, who the fuck is this? And they'll have like crazy heat. It's like somebody I've never even heard of, like it just blows my mind. And that's part of what's so exciting where we're at right now in the industry is there's so many people that are like jumping on board, especially like during the pandemic, people are bored there at home. Right. A lot of people jumped in on the ball python game. And, you could look at it like, oh, that's more competition or whatever, but like those are the people that are going to buy your snakes.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, correct. Yeah,
I see it as more possible friends or customers, whatever. Like
all of the above.
You got something cooler than me, like good for you. Like that's
right,
cool.
100%.
I want to do. You know what I mean? This is for me. Like that's how I look at it.
We're at a point in the industry where it had people. It's an abundance mindset, right? Like more of like you said, like applause instead of like competition, right? Like, back in the day, people were haters and they kind of like kept things on the low. They didn't want to help each other. Like now, people are so willing to share knowledge and information, and it's all out there on the internet, anyways, right? So, we're so connected. I mean, I just. Like when I did that super show, like, man, I met so many cool people. Like some of them I sort of knew from online, but like getting to like know them all in person is like some next level stuff. Same thing like the Canova meetup we did. Like that was awesome. That was really fun. And I met like some great people. So yeah, it's exciting times for the whole industry, really.
Oh yeah, it is. Like I said, like, I mean, I don't see it as competition. Like I said, like you got something cool. You're doing this. You're like, whatever. Good for you, man. I'm happy for you. I don't hate. Like I'm doing my own thing. Like I hope people support me. I support you, type thing. Like that's what's great about the industry. Like I met some really cool people. Like I met Carr. Like me and Carr are probably one of the, like we're probably best friends now. I talk to him every day. Oh, how's it going, man? Freaking, I'm still at work too. You know what I mean? Like it's holiday and stuff. And I never would have met him or whatever if it wasn't for the ball python industry, man. So I mean, you meet some really cool people. Staying with you and stuff. Like when I went down to Canova, I met you and whatnot. Like I never would have met you or whatever. Like see how great a person that you are and whatnot. Like it's
there's
fun.
some real value in attending things. So like for many years, I was just like a basement ball python breeder, right? I would produce a clutch. I'd sell it on, king snake or fawn, a lot of the old school stuff, right? And like Morph Market has obviously like revolutionized the game, but like getting out and putting your face out there and in front of the people and like just shaking hands and laughing with people and, like, oh man, I saw that snake you produced last week, whatever, it's like great conversation, I don't know. I really enjoy that. Like it takes a lot out of you to go and do those events. And there's the reward isn't always monetary, if that makes sense.
Right. Have you been to Tinley yet?
I've not. And I've been, it's funny because I'm from Nebraska. I lived there for many years. I was born and raised there. And it was about an 8-hour drive. I was like, oh man, 8 hours, and now it's like, 24 for me to drive that. A little harder to do, but like, yeah, obviously the October Tinley is arguably the largest reptile show in the United States and something I would definitely like to attend. I hear it's a nightmare trying to get in for a vendor spot if you're not already there. So maybe just as like a casual, attendee or whatever, it'd be awesome to go.
That's what I do. Maybe one day I'll vend it and stuff, but I just go there and network people, talk to friends and stuff, and like just like you said, just socialize with them, get your name out there or whatnot. I mean, it's a good time. It's really fun. It really is. Like I spent probably a little bit more than what I probably should have at Tinley, but I got some heat in there too.
Right.
I mean, I think even Will, like when Will went with me, it was the first time he went, and he was, he wanted to be smaller, but then he went to Tinley. I just opened his eyes up. You know what I mean? He's like, this is what I need to do, like to get that next level. Now he wants to be a little bit bigger and whatnot. So, I mean, like I said, he spent more money than he wanted to spend too.
Story of my life, man. It's always, it's been a little bit too much. Hey, what's up, Nicole? Yeah.
So, like I said, Tinley's a great time. It's great. I love Tinley because, like I said, I met Nicole at Tinley. Like, I get to chat with her and stuff too. Like I said, Tinley's fun, man. Like, I don't even care if I even gotta go buy. Just go see what everyone's producing, talk to them, do interviews, do the content. Like, it's fun stuff, man.
I had full intentions of going this last year, but I was also tied down to some other things. It happens quick, right? You're like, in October, I'll get the tickets or whatever. And then, like, before you know, you're like, wait, it's this weekend? Oh, crap. Like, you got to plan in advance. You got to just commit, book those tickets, be ready to roll, and make it all work later.
See, I didn't even know if I was going to make it because they said I blew my knee out in July. And so, like, I had 4 snakes on hold that I ended up having to default on because I was off work for 2 months. But I was looking at that, like that NC Chocolate DG Hypo Girl. I had that as a double head. It was a double head. It was an NC Chocolate, I believe. I think it had chocolate in it. It was an NC Chocolate double head Hypo DG. I had to get my money back for it because, like, it was already paid off, but like it was still being assist fed at that time of it. So I mean, it worked out. But then I turned around, like, a couple months later, like, it worked out because, hey, look, I got the double visual now. So I mean, like, that worked out great.
That was your Tinley pickup, right?
I actually bought her before Tinley, and it was from Ring Reptiles actually, and he gave it to Steve Morse, and because he was going to Tinley because they're both from Florida, and that was his buddy, and I just picked her up at Tinley. I was going anyhow, and then I got that Acid Clown too. It was there. I got that from Kittner Reptiles. Okay. So I was like, I got that from Jason. I was trying to up the clown game a little bit. I was looking for like a hat, like a powerful hat, but I was like, there's I've been wanting to get into acid. And there was clown. Like, I got the money. I kind of don't, but I'm just like, it's just, like you said, one of those things. Like,
make it work.
I'm gonna get this.
Hey, you scaled it up, man. Sometimes you just got to go big. There's no sense. Like, I get it. Like, sometimes I'm, reserved and like, I don't know. Do I, like, we were talking about the sunset game, right? I'm like, realistically, I should probably just go all in, buy myself like a Hypo Sunset, and then roll that into my existing projects, right? That could make a lot of sense. But it's very easy to be like, yeah, well, it is a 5-figure snake. That's a lot of money for most people and certainly me. So, but some of these guys, they drop crazy, 20, 40, 50K on a single animal. And don't even bat an eye at it. And they're probably doing something right. I'm not personally there. I would love to get there someday.
I'm not there yet either.
I'm just, I don't know, maybe a little too humble to do that. But, again, if you got the capital and you're willing to just go all in, then, like, don't drag your feet. Just, go and do it and figure, abundance mindset, right? Like I said, like there's more money. There's so much money to be made. Drive Uber at night. I don't know, man. Figure it out. Find some money.
I know. It's crazy. It's like Miguel, like when he was turning down like 120K for a snake. Turning it down. Because he knows he can make more off of it. I'm like, that's insane. Like, I hope to be like that one day, honestly.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, those opportunities are
like, nah, I'm good.
They're, kind of few and far between. I mean, like it takes a lot to have 120K, right? Like that's like you think about like what your average person's salary. I mean, that's really a lot to put into a snake. But if you could take that 120K and buy a snake and then put it into, you've got 10 girls lined up that are going to compliment it.
Money back. So that's like you were saying. I can get this money back so much quicker or whatever than than selling it. Have you had any like disasters or anything in breeding? What's the worst thing that could happen? So we were talking to Antoine or whatever, the one podcast, and he put all of his marbles in the desert gene. And it wasn't fertile. So he ate like 40 grand on that one, I think he said.
Yeah, that would sour me a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. I no, not really. I told you I got that like scaleless head clown girl. That's maybe, and I got a great deal on her anyways. Like, so that's sort of a dead project. I've never gotten into something like, I remember Desert back in the day, which is funny because like Desert Ghost wasn't even popular then. I remember thinking like, why don't people like this Desert Ghost gene? It's amazing, and eventually, it caught on and went mainstream. But Desert was just as pretty, if not maybe prettier. And people were always like, well, why don't we see a female on eggs? I remember that.
That's what he said. Like, I'm not freaking buying into nothing before I see it on eggs.
Right. Yeah. So, But nothing disastrous. I mean, honestly, I'm very fortunate. You know, like I've had some things happen with individual animals. Like one time, I got a girl that got like egg bound. She like I don't know, I don't remember the veterinary term, but like her eggs developed like outside of her ovaries or something weird, and she got like an infection. It went septic and she died. But like for the most part. I'm very fortunate in, the health of my animals. Like, occasionally, I lose an animal. It's pretty rare, but things happen. I told you my last 2 clutches slugged out. That was very unfortunate. I was looking forward to both those clutches. They were, one was like, what did I breed? I bred a hypo DG het clown to a pastel inchy spot nose hypo 50% het DG clown. So like I was looking at the triples, right? And I had like, I don't know, a 9 egg clutch, one egg that was good and candled and everything. Well, the egg went bad. And then, so, I was like, well, at least I got one, look at the bright side. Right. And then I had another, it was a lavender 66% het clown that I bred to like a spot nose OD inchy clown visual. And I was going to at least hopefully prove this girl out, right? All right, I'm going to hit the odds if I'm lucky and get some visual clowns out of it. Well, she slugged out too. So, it's the game. Like if I look at like all of my like successes and the luck and odds and then I weigh it against that, it's easy to just pass over it. It's part of the game. Chalk it up. Yeah,
I'll probably have those stories one day. So,
Nicole, hey man, just stay consistent. That's it.
I don't know.
If that's true.
I don't know, Nicole. Nicole, you still watching? I don't know if you're not. You should come on the podcast too, Nicole. We're gonna schedule you up if you're still watching. I don't know if you are or not. So, but yeah, dude, I only do these podcasts for about an hour or so, dude. So I'm out. So
yeah, man. Let's call it.
It was fun.
It was great chatting with you guys. I like shooting the shit, doing snake stuff. Sure. If you guys ever happen to find your way down here to the Southwest, down in the sunny state of Arizona, feel free to hit me up. I'm going to be attending the Reptile Super Show in Pomona, California, January 7th and 8th. Anybody that's going to be in that neck of the woods, come holler at me. Come get a sticker, maybe some T-shirts. I don't have them printed yet, but I'm working on it. If anybody has T-shirt suggestions for a good company, please DM me on Instagram. It's going to be at Matt Yates Reptile. Follow me, Also, like, subscribe. This channel is an awesome channel. These guys are growing, trying to get to 500, get at that 500 giveaway. That's right.
I said if you haven't subscribed,
yes, sir.
Subscribe to us. I said we're trying to get that 500. We're doing that giveaway. And then we'll do another giveaway at 1,000. So I said we'll be growing, and we'll be throwing some fire stuff out there too with you. So it'll be fun.
Awesome.
So, I have fun with you, Matt. I hope you have a nice Christmas and good holidays, my friend.
Thanks, brother. You too. You guys take care. Good luck on the 2023 season, and let's keep in touch. Okay.
Oh, for sure, man.
Definitely. See you later, Matt.